All right, let's kick it off as we do, looking back towards the last 7 days. All right. So we look back at the week that was, and what some of the best things that we saw over the last 7 days in the world of football. Now, as we get into playoff baseball, obviously, if if a team we enjoy does well, we can always bring that up. Or if a team like the Yankees loses, we can enjoy that as well. But
go Mariners.
I'd be fine with the Mariners. But EJ, we'll kick it off with you. What was your best of the week this past week?
This is gonna sound really fucked up, but follow me here. So the Ravens, I'm concerned about the Ravens, but I'm not concerned about the Ravens. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's even with the Lamar Jackson injury. He's probably gonna miss 2 to 3 weeks, they're saying. Look, there are concerns that are mostly internal. Because even if the shoe for, let's say they were 3-1 still. What do we say? What did I say before the year started? And even after week 1, we lost to Buffalo. That nothing they do between now and January matters at this point, as long as by January they're winning playoff games and going to Super Bowl. They are a team right now that is Super Bowl or bust. End discussion. Now, having said that, obviously you're 1-3 now. The Lamar injury, you got to. I don't know. The Houston game is still should be. I don't think it's a tough game, but they can still turn around. The reason why I'm not concerned with the Ravens, though, big picture, at least in terms of the regular season, is because of the fact that, dude, through 4 weeks, the AFC sucks. The AFC sucks, bro. You go through the AFC. So, who are your shoo-ins? You got, obviously, Buffalo. Casey's back. Chargers still. Even if they lost, still Chargers. Okay. But then, do you think the Steelers are going to run away to AFC North? They have upside to play with. But they're 3-1, but they're not really an impressive 3-1. The wildcard situation isn't that good. Okay,
not impressive at anything, EJ.
If
this injury causes a slip, though, if you go another 1-2, and the Steelers go 2-1, then all of a sudden it's a whole different conversation.
Right. So the thing, I think my large point is this, though, is that because of the environment around the Ravens, their margin of error is still really big. I'm at a point now where I'm looking at the AFC has things percolating 4 weeks in that we might see a 8 or 9 win team make the playoffs as a wild card. So you look at the schedule. So let's play numbers here. So they're saying he should be out 2 to 3 weeks. Next 2 games for the Ravens is the Texans this week, and then the Rams week after that. Then a bye week, and he should be back for October against the Bears. Their schedule gets easy. So if they can at least get one more win, between the next 2 weeks, and you get him back after the bye week, they play the Dolphins, the Vikings, a couple softies in there. So they have a lot of wiggle room to make up some ground. In fact, now look, even if the Steelers win the division, I can't necessarily say that they can still get a wild card, because again, outside the Broncos in the wild card situation, who scares you? Like who really scares you? The Bengals are fucked. Okay, the Browns are the Browns, obviously. Who else am I missing there in the division? As I said, the Steelers. So I just think the wiggle room they have right now to work with, there's still time for them to get back in this thing. They can win 10 games this year and they'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, now if you all of a sudden if you lose to Houston, this Sunday is a big game for them in Riptide Rush, because you're probably going to lose to the Rams and then go into the bye week.
But even with that, I think even if they go 1-5, you get Lamar back. Unless teams start really getting it all together after the top teams in the conference, I can't cut them out this yet. I just can't.
No, I don't think you can count them out.
So they would have to, for your 10 wins at 1-5.
But that schedule gets very easy the rest of the way, though. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And then
you still got a lot.
You still got Pittsburgh twice to make up ground there. You have easy games against the Dolphins, a couple of teams as mentioned earlier. So there's still space. Look.
Okay, I mean, so you have in those remaining 9 games, right? You have, Minnesota, which, good defense. If McCarthy can get cooking, you'll have some players back off injury.
Man, I'm with EJ.
You have Minnesota, you have Pittsburgh twice, you have Green Bay.
I hate to say it, but I think I'm with EJ.
Now look,
all of a sudden I look. I mean, I'm not saying that they're in a good spot. I don't think they're in as good of a spot as EJ thinks they are. Right. But if you're just looking at that schedule and ability to knock 10 wins out, this is all contingent on it actually being.
That's
they got to do their job, obviously, of course. But I'm in the space for them to make some ground up.
That is a small window of error though, because like your losses, let's say your absolute losses are one against Pittsburgh, and when you play the Packers, right? Let's just call those the losses, which you can certainly win those games. But let's call those the losses. That means you like, yes, there's some easier games out there, but
that means like also, Pittsburgh once, New England once.
EJ is also the guy that loves to talk about divisional
optics.
Wins. Like EJ is the guy that loves to talk about divisional optics. So you play the Browns, you play the Bengals twice. One of those games, maybe Joe Burrow's back for. Maybe they make a trade for another quarterback. Who knows?
No, actually, the one of the Bengals games are without Bill O'Reilly for a fact because in November. Know that.
Right, then the next one is in December. So like,
who knows?
I think one of the last four, December 14th.
Let's be real, Jim. If the Bengals are fucking falling apart, like we see right now, they may not bring him back. What's the point?
Well, right, but that's also my point is like if the Bengals happen to lose again this week, maybe they make a trade for a quarterback.
Because right now, you'll see the rankings. They are one of the worst teams in football right now. I'm okay with saying that. They're fucking terrible.
They look very bad. But in the same time, they have a better record than the Ravens. So by your account, if you can go out and get a quarterback, maybe you get right back in the mix as well. But so to your best of the week is that the Ravens are not dead. That's your best of the week?
Yeah. I said they're not dead because of the environment.
Okay.
Again, they got to do their job. But there's room for them to catch ground. And based on their history, based on who they have, it's likely they may still do that. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Sean, your best of the week.
Well, I was saving what I feel should probably be the best of the week, and I hate to hand the best of the week to a divisional opponent, so I won't give it to the Giants anyway, despite the fact that EJ didn't take it.
I thought for sure
I'll let you do it.
I'm gonna give a quick shout out to Jackson Dart and say very impressive young man. But I'm gonna give my best of the week to my plan B anyway, and I'm gonna go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I felt like the Jacksonville Jaguars. Did Trevor Lawrence have a great day? No, but did he give the ball away? Also, no. And to be honest, like and I said the Jags might be a surprise in our preview show. I thought the Jags were going to be very improved. I liked what they'd done on the defensive side of the ball. I liked what they were setting up for a running game. And you know what? In this game, both those things happened. Purdy's back. No excuses. Turns out plenty of excuses because they have 1,000 injuries again. But either way, injuries are not on the San Francisco side of the ball. The leading rusher at over 140 yards. He forced 5 turnovers, 2 interceptions, three lost fumbles. So when you're forcing those kind of turnovers, I don't care if you're playing a good team or a bad team. That team's going to have a hard time beating you. And I think Jacksonville kind of flexed their muscle a little bit. And I'm not, they're in a division in the AFC South where I know the Colts are my hot ticket right now. But should we see some more traditional Daniel Jones, or should we see a little bit of a slip or maybe an injury in Indianapolis, something like that? Someone's going to have to knock on the door. And, I know Houston may have woken up, but, I think Jacksonville's waking up right there with them. And I think that, that division might wind up. I mean, I think we all thought it would be competitive as like who's not going to be the worst. It could turn into a more entertaining show than we thought if these teams decide to wake up. So Jacksonville, hang your hats on it. You did great. You shut down Brock Purdy. You stopped the 49ers. They're not undefeated. And now you have the same record they do. And that's my best of the week.
Yeah, I'm not ready to say Houston waking up, beating a listless team.
It was a loose term.
Like beating a bad team, also staring at you, Kansas City, it does not mean that you're back or waking up. We'll let
wait. So
sometimes
bad teams in New York or bad teams in New York or bad teams in Baltimore?
Yes.
I'm not ready to call Baltimore a bad team just yet. But
sometimes, James, your schedule hands you a get right
bad.
game.
That defense is playing poorly. Okay, the Chiefs' offense has not been good all year. They play a bad defense and they look pretty good. Like the Bears The fucking Bears looked like a tremendous offense because they played the Cowboys. The Giants and Russell Wilson, who's no longer a starting quarterback, looked like a great offense against the Dallas Cowboys.
That's true.
Show me against a team that has a decent defense like Kansas City. You play Jacksonville and Detroit in the next 2 weeks. Show me something against those defenses. I'll start to believe that you might have started to right the ship.
Well, they are getting healthy right time though. They're starting to get healthy. So
right. Well, sometimes your schedule hands you the get right game, and what you do with it is up to you. And, sometimes getting the air under your sails. You can't get the sailboat going, but you get a good gust, a gift from the gods, so to speak, and then sales go up, everything's going, and you're back to normal. And do I think the Chiefs are necessarily back to normal? No. Do I think they're a top 10 team? More on that later. But I'm going to acknowledge that they at least have some life, and that's should be a little scary for everyone else. Keep your eye on it. But I'm with James too. I don't think the optics of that game are as realistic as people, because he's right. Not only do the Ravens have a weakened defense from other years, like it hasn't been performing super admirably. But then they lost some key pieces mid-game too, not just Lamar Jackson. You lost some real key pieces on defense.
Yeah,
arguably your best pass rusher. There's a lot of things that changed in the middle of that game and made moving the ball even easier. So give it to the Chiefs. They still move the ball. You still got to complete the throws. You got to make the plays. But I didn't get to see Pacheco's numbers. It didn't feel like they were running the ball that well.
No, and because here's the deal,
and they can't.
So, but. Like I said, show me a little bit more. I'll start to believe it a little bit.
35 yards for Pacheco, by the way. 35.
Back to your Jack's point, though. Think about this, dude. Like they haven't really been. They've kind of been not really that impressive. They're not really a team that's like off the screen. Like, oh my god, the Jags are doing this and that. But they're literally like a play from me 4-0 right now. Like they should have beaten Cincinnati. They got screwed in that game actually. Yeah. So they play from me 4-0 right now.
Yeah.
So you look at that.
There's really not a lot of teams who have jumped off the screen as being great this year so far.
Philly, but again, Philly gets the benefit of the doubt because of who they are.
Sure, yeah, Jacksonville will not. So,
who they are.
Yeah, right. For my best of the week, I'm going to show college football a little bit of love. A fun weekend in college football. But the best thing I saw, and you can call me a hater if you want, Dylan Thienemann's second overtime interception to give the Oregon Ducks the win over Penn State, delivering that stake of disappointment through the heart of Nittany Lion fans on a Saturday night in September against a very good Oregon team. And once again, James Franklin, Brian Kelly. I think Brian Kelly did say it best one time.
And we're sitting here again. Talking about the same things.
And for Penn State, it's more of the same. James Franklin against a top 25, top 10 opponents, failing to get the job done. The chance of Fire Franklin rained down in Happy Valley on Saturday night. So Oregon gets a big win. They move up to number 2 in the country. Penn State has more questions than answers.
Great game, though. Great game.
Oh, absolutely. A very fun game. A lot of good college football on Saturday. But anytime Penn State loses, we win.
Right. I don't think his job's be on the line because of that loss. I mean, again, you're playing a quality team there. I mean, I get, he has a hard time winning games against good teams. But, I mean, Penn State will be there in the end. They'll be in the conversation for the to play up. So,
they will be in the conversation. Well, here's the thing, though. Because you still have to play Ohio State. You might as well mark that as a loss. So Penn State at best is 10-2. They still have to play.
Is that in Columbus?
I believe so, but I don't think it matters either way.
Okay. Wait, so you're there? You think Ohio State is leaps and bounds better than Penn State no matter what?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I
don't like to give Ohio State their flowers, but
no, of course, right.
But you still, if you're Penn State, you still play Indiana as well. So
Ohio State is home against Penn State on November 1st.
Oh yeah, dead for Penn State. So yeah, but no. Here's the thing: in a capsule, I'm not saying that a loss to Oregon means James Franklin job's in jeopardy. What the problem for James Franklin is he's now been there a decade, and you're 4-19 against top 20 opponents or whatever. That's the problem, because when your schedule has two or three top 10, top 25 opponents on it, and you lose to them regularly, and then the only time you beat ranked opponents is when you played Boise State and SMU last year, but then you lose to Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl. Like, the weight of that begins to matter. Like, here's the deal. If he's not at Penn State, because Penn State is a school that does not turn over coaches, but if you're not at Penn State, Franklin's probably fired about 4 or 5 years ago, for being honest about it.
It's possible.
But it in this college football environment, I think the voices are going to get louder, especially if he loses to Ohio State and Indiana.
Yeah, certain schools do have a requirement or a quota, I guess, to meet. And I guess he's sort of met that to some degree, but then I don't know, because like obviously Alabama's like their whole thing is like you got to have a certain level of excellence to maintain. Caleb DeBoer, not even fully 2 years there, was on a hot seat from the fucking first year, you know. So I don't know if Penn has the same exact like I don't want to say requirements, but same exact expectations, if you will. I think they're always a team that's in the conversation to make the playoff. Even when it was a 4-teamer, they may not make it every time, but now the 12-teamer. I think the 12-team format saves them. To be honest with you.
Yeah, but eventually we'll get louder. And here's the thing too about the Kalen DeBoer. The media and social media fans wanted to say he was on the hot seat. He was not on the hot seat after last year. Now, the seat certainly heated up with a loss to Florida State. But now all of a sudden that motherfucker has cooled down big time.
And and for the record, that win actually helps, helps Florida State even more, because that win looks great now. Like week 1, we were saying, oh man, that might not be good anymore. And then they dominated teams they shouldn't have, that they should be dominating. And then a team in Georgia and beat the way they did. Yeah. So
yeah. And
again, it's a weird fucking year, man.
Kirby Smart has a Bama problem. That was the question last year. Does he have a Bama problem or a Saban problem? He's now lost twice to Kalen DeBoer.
The answer is yes.
Alabama.
The answer is yes.
But yeah, exactly. That is the answer for sure. Devin says the best thing that happened in the past week, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the old button here for Devin. Is that the Miami Dolphins finally won a game this year? Maybe few and far between, but got to take the wins when you can. Absolutely, Devin. Yeah. Take them when you get them.
Especially now that they're best offensive players.
And they play Carolina.
That was rough.
They play Carolina this week.
See the smile on his face, though, knowing full well he wasn't going to have to play the rest of the season for the Dolphins.
And that is
why was he smiling? And I'm like, he doesn't have to play for the Dolphins anymore.
Literally a costly injury for Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. What we know that is his last step in Miami. We know that.
Oh, for sure.
He's
sure.
gone.
So,
he is absolutely gone.
Career, we'll see.
All right. Yeah. I mean, because with the extent of the damage that we know of, he's facing probably multiple surgeries. So, yeah, it's you never want to see that happen. But